Happy mid-morning, friends. I tell you what, it's going to be a beautiful one here today. I have really been working hard and trying to get everything going the way I need it to go before it gets hot and summer's here. Next thing I guess I'm going to be end up doing is cleaning cages for the rabbits, and then getting all of this off of the floor, and that's what this over here is for. So I'll be putting the straw down again, and it'll be really, really clean in here again. I love clean. So Hazel's decided that, okay, she's got enough eggs now. I think she's got about 14. That might be enough to handle. She kept putting eggs out of the nest and putting them over here by the door. And I thought, okay, she doesn't want that one. And so I'd toss it out, and she'd look at me like, no, Mama, no. So I didn't, and then she put 2 more eggs out, and then 2 more eggs out, and I was like, okay. And then she went over and sat on the nest, and those eggs were still there, and I thought, okay, now I'm going to make sure that I take them. So I did, and look at her, she's pulling down out of her feathers so that she can have more insulation for those eggs. Isn't that wonderful? I put Magnolia on sticks yesterday, so I don't know, I didn't, it's real rickety. I don't know how really to, this is my next feat, is to get that to where it's more sturdy. It's, I don't know, let me show you. See, it just kind of, oops, see, it's kind of rickety, and I'm afraid the chickens are going to jump up there and topple it over. What I'm trying to figure out is anything I put underneath her with that open bottom, when she poops on it, it's just going to make a big pile of mess. And so I'm trying to get it to where I can figure out how I can get underneath it and get the poo out easily, and get it a little bit more squared up without having to attach it to that. I've got some I don't know what that is. It's real thin stuff, almost paper thin, that I've been putting on the walls in here because it was cheaper than this stuff was. I don't know what it's called. OCB board, I think is what it's called. You can see I put the brown stuff here, and it's just, I don't know, it's hard to work with. It's paper thin, and that's what I've got for the other side for whenever I finish it up. And I didn't have a place to store it, so I put it right there. So now that's the only spot I have left that's got wall space, and I really need some more wall space in here. I'm running out of room, and I'm gonna look at him. I mean, he is sitting right there with her. He's like, okay, Baba, okay, baby, he says, I'll sit here with you. I know it's hard for you to just sit there, but I'll sit here with you. Isn't that just precious? That's just precious. And so anyway, it's gonna be a lot. I took the boys out, so their pen is empty, and it's getting ready to be cleaned out today and reused. I've got a hen that I put on to lay, or to sit, almost 20 days ago. Let me show you. So I've got her in here. You can't really hardly see her. She's in there, and I filled her food bowl up, and look, it's been about 2 weeks and she still hasn't eaten that whole thing of food, and they normally eat a lot. And I filled her water up, and she hasn't drank hardly any of that either. So once she gets up off that nest, she will be, I mean, she will, and I hate to say this, but I'm trying to teach people how they are. She hasn't hardly got up off that nest, and I don't see any poop anywhere. So once she gets up, she'll have a big one, and it'll be a stinker. So I made this little cage with a door that opens right here, and I did that a few weeks ago, and made it to where I can use that as a brooder, so that she could stay in there, but it's going to stink. And she could have her babies in there. I'm not sure that they could get out. I could put some chicken wire up to keep them from getting out, because they're awfully little when they're babies, and they can get out of just about anything. And that's all it takes for them to jump out and jump down here in the water, or have one of the chickens get them, because the chickens don't don't care. They'll eat them when they're little like that and they can't fend for themselves. And here's Josephine. I told one of my friends, no, I don't have a white chicken. But I don't think of her as white because she's an Araucana. She's a white Araucana. But I think white chickens, leghorns. Now she looks white, but she's not. She's gray. She's Sapphire Splash is what she's called. She's the Sapphire Gem, and I think it's a leghorn that they put them with. So I do have a leghorn mix, I guess. She's one too. They're really good layers. I tell you, they lay a lot. Very, very good layers. And their eggs are starting to get big too. But this is Josephine, and she's a sweet little girl. I really do like her. She's kind of hateful to the others. Girls, come on. I can't even talk. Ugh. Oh my goodness, I had to come out of where it was so loud in there. They don't let you even talk. And I tried to talk over those roosters the other day when I was getting ready to take them to Bubba's house. And one of my viewers, she's actually a good friend of mine, she says, hey, I couldn't hear you over your roosters. And, I guess sometimes I'm so used to hearing them that I forget how loud they are. And, of course, I don't hear that well anyway. But I want to show you my potatoes. Look. Some of them are doing better than others. So, it depends, I guess, on what they want to do and what I do right or wrong. But it looks like my red ones are coming up. I think I planted those first. And then the others. I got 7 rows. But I know that last row's coming up spottily. They're the ones I planted last. But look at this. My, I told you my rooster got me the other day whenever I got him. Look at my arm. Look at that. See if you can. Look at that. I know I love birds, but I must be just a pretty tough bird myself, because I knew he got me pretty hard, but it didn't really hurt. It was like, okay, that's it. That's all you got, and and it looks bad, but it doesn't hurt. You can see its beak right there on top where it made a little beak mark, and it grabbed that skin. And because I'm a little bit older, my skin pinches pretty easy. So he grabbed that skin and just bruised me. He says, "No, Mama, I don't want to leave. No, leave me alone. I'm fine. Let me go back outside and fight." And kill your girls. No. That's not happening. So I gave them a big pumpkin yesterday. I've still got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, I think 3 left from the last fall. Isn't that amazing? I had them in my garage, just on my, underneath my workbench on a shelf there. And they didn't freeze and they didn't rot. There's old Renfro. Hey Renfro, how are you today? You gonna talk to me? He's Sapphire Gem and Dominicker. Whatever those are called, Dominickers. That's what he is. Him and Scout do not like Mo. They chase Mo all over the place and Mo has to go hide, and I don't like that. So they may have to go find another home, because if they're going to chase each other around, that's not, the culprit's going to get it, not the one that's being chased. It's the one that chases. So that's just how that works. But yeah, I've been getting up a little bit earlier and trying to get around and out here so that they can have longer to come outside and do what they're doing right now, because this is what they need to do in order to be able to lay up their eggs. So I come out here and oh, this weather is so perfect. It's not raining, it's not blowing, it's not 100 degrees. Sometimes it gets pretty bakey out here and you feel like you're just about, turn me over and poke me with the fork, I'm done. Because I got out here and was working in my garden whenever I was doing my potatoes. And I felt like all of a sudden all my energy just totally drained out. And I'm like, oh no, it just happened all of a sudden. And it scared me. And I think that's why I haven't got back to my garden yet. Of course, it rained, and it rained in deep, and because I had tilled it a couple of times, and now, oh gosh, I'll show you. I showed you in one of the last ones, but you wouldn't believe how big it is now. So this was my garden where it was totally nothing but dirt. Look how tall and thick. This stuff right here would get to be about 14 feet tall if I left it. So I'm going to come out here with my fork, and I'm going to try and dig that all up with by the roots. Look at that. I mean, I'm going to put it right down there on it. Look at it. It's that tall. You can just see it. If you can see it. This thing loses its focus whenever I get certain ways. Look at that. It's already a foot tall, I would say. Look. See? See my nasty leg. I had a shower this morning. See there? It's that tall. It's taller than that. Taller than my boot. So, yeah. Look down here and you can see all of that grass coming back. It just and another thing is making me wonder, how am I going to keep this grass out of here with it being so, it's not wide enough to get my tiller in. There's a lot of square inches to have to work with a hoe. So I'm not really sure. I've got that little push plow down there, but I don't have a cultivator on it yet. I just got a plow on it, and it doesn't really help break up the dirt, you know, in a big area. It's just a little small area. I love this little thing though. Bubba brought it back. I got my incubator too, so I'm going to see if I can get that working. I don't know if it'll work or not. It's old, so I'm not really sure. But see, isn't that cool? That's a picture just right there, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to let you guys go. Oh yeah, one other thing I've got growing too that I had from last year. Didn't know if it'd come back because I know the chickens come out here and they dig up everything that they like. But I had some things around it to keep them from it. This right here is horseradish. So you can eat the greens on top, and it tastes like mustard. It's a little tougher than mustard. But oh my goodness, it sure is good on a sandwich. It's good in eggs. It's good in a lot of things. It's really healthy too. And I had some oregano right here. I think they did dig that up all the way to the roots. Oregano was supposed to be invasive, so I had another one right here. You can see where they knew it was there. I guess they smelt it. They'll dig it up right to the end of the very end of the root. So anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. I know I am. See how this dirt looks? It'll be beautiful. It's just so wet right now. See, it's just wet. Just wet. So my trees are doing good. Apple trees in the garden and plum trees out there. You can see on the right down there outside of the fence, that's a plum tree, and where the armadillos have already come up and started digging in it. And I put a fence around the other one, so I'm going to have to put one around that one. I got my chainsaw and I can't get the stupid thing to the battery to even start charging, so I'm not real thrilled with that, and I might just take it back and tell them heck with it. So with that, I'm going to let you go. You guys have a great day. I know I'm going to. I'm going to have a lot to do. So I'll see you on the next one. Like, share,